This is the Bleav in Pro Wrestling podcast. Here's Rick Ucchino and SP3 on the Bleav Podcast Network.
What is going on, everybody? Rick Ucchino, SP3 here. It is the Bleav in Pro Wrestling podcast, and it is WrestleMania week. It's time for our predictions live stream here on the Bleav in Pro Wrestling podcast YouTube channel. The audio will be up later on the Bleav in Podcast Network, available literally anywhere you get your podcast, whether it's iHeart, Spotify, Apple, one of those strange ones that I can't think of off the top of my head. We appreciate you guys joining us here today. We got a huge card, 13 matches, possibly 14 to break down. And you know how we like to do it here on Big Pay-Per-View Week. If we're doing our prediction show, we like to bring in, usually we bring in one of the top wrestling minds out there, but it's WrestleMania. It's the biggest one ever, or so they say. So we are double dipping. First, joining the program for the first time ever. You've seen him, his work in Sporting News. You've seen him on SiriusXM or heard him on SiriusXM and so many other places. Andreas Hale, what's going on, good sir?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me. I appreciate this. Good old wrestling talk. It's that time of the year again, so I'm ready.
I'm fired up. I'm so happy we could work this into your schedule today. And friend of the program, returning today, got a new endeavor, Nick Hausman, man. Tell us a little bit about the new gig, man. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Rich. SP3, great to see you again. Yes, houseofwrestling.com lives. It is a real thing, Haus of wrestling, like my last name, Hausman. It is the new home for all of my news coverage, editorials, interviews, exclusives, all of it. It is live. It's popping. And I thank you for letting me mention it here on the show. And I'm also here, like Andreas, for some wrestling chatter. But, man, whatever beats you were dropping up top, I needed a dance break for my day. I've been sitting here crouched over I've been listening to this John Moxley, Renee Paquette thing very accurately, trying to transcribe it. And then this music hit, and it totally broke me, and it was wonderful. So thank you, Rick.
You're very welcome. I've been in your shoes transcribing a John Moxley interview. So, yeah, I'm happy to give you a little bit of a break today for sure. That was good stuff with Renee, by the way. I highly suggest you check that out. Also a friend of the program. Before we get started here, guys, got to thank our friends over at Bet Online. They remain your number one source for all of your college basketball betting, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, just a few days away. It's all there. We would not be here right now without Bet Online. You'll get the latest odds, bracket contests, team matchups, game trends. They got live games. Everything is there. Bet Online, your college basketball headquarters as we go into an unpredictable Final Four here. Head on over to the website today. Use your mobile device to sign up and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just make sure to use our promo code Bleav. That is BLEAV to get that bonus. BetOnline.ag, where the game starts. Gentlemen, we got 13 matches that we need to get to in the next 55 minutes or so, but maybe, possibly, SP3, potentially 14 matches. We talked about Bobby Lashley over the last few weeks on this show with Bray Wyatt being ill. Is he going to find his way onto the card? And then Friday night on SmackDown, they announced that the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is back this week, and front and center on the graphic is one Bobby Lashley. They did a pretty good job setting this up on Monday Night Raw with Lashley being a central figure in that. I find it hard to believe that this man went from potentially wrestling Brock Lesnar in a big blow-off match to now he's in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on SmackDown. I cannot believe that that's going to be it for Lashley this weekend.
I mean, I can believe anything in this wrestling world, so I would not be surprised. And from his attitude, and I never like to read too much into people's performances on TV, but he didn't seem pretty happy in that backstage segment. He didn't seem exuberant or excited for the Andre the Giant Memorial. He just kind of did the segment and then walked off screen.
Potentially, Nick, they could set up something if Bray is able to come back. No guarantees that he will, but if he's healthy enough to come back, at this point, they might as well wait till the last minute. He can show up in the Andre. He can take out Bobby Lashley, potentially set up a match there. There's rumors that LA Knight could possibly be involved something here. Do you think the only time we see Lashley is going to be Friday, or do they try to set something else up last minute here?
I mean, look, we're in such a weird position here right now. The Bray Wyatt factor has really thrown this whole thing into the wind, right? We don't know if he's going to come back, if he wants to come back. Is it really this health issue that everybody's reporting on? I'll take it at their word. I saw that photo online, though, where he was posing with a fan. He looked pretty fine to me,
Yeah.
So, look, I wrote about this on the site after the Rumble. I was at the Rumble. That pitch black match it killed a crowd faster than anything I've ever seen in my entire life. It was terrible. It was an awful match. It was a very bad match. And on the other side of it, Bray Wyatt disappears. LA Knight does what he does. He comes out, he starts jaw-jacking, trying to create an opportunity for himself. I would be shocked if Lashley was just in this Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I mean, if he's in it, he should win. But I'm much more in favor of him doing something with LA Knight at Mania if the chips fall that way. The inclusion of Stone Cold Steve Austin in there, that was the other part of their report. Last time Lashley and Steve Austin shared a ring at WrestleMania, they shaved Vince McMahon's head. So little reuniting. Maybe LA Knight walks away with a chrome dome. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm,
Yeah, I think, hey, maybe Randy Orton, also another possibility. Rumors that he could be coming back. I think there's smoke to the rumors about LA Knight being involved in WrestleMania in some way, shape, or form, whether he hijacks the show, Andreas, possibly, and then he gets interrupted by a legend like Stone Cold, or maybe Bobby Lashley, if Lashley gets tossed by LA Knight, let's say, in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, or Randy Orton comes down. There's a lot that I think they could do with LA Knight. I think both he and Lashley, again, I'd be surprised if we only see them on Friday.
First things first, I had zero interest in Bobby Lashley versus Bray Wyatt, like less than zero, maybe -5. So the fact that this match is seemingly scrapped, I'm okay with it. The problem is that Bobby Lashley deserves better, right? Like,
yes,
I would have loved to see Lashley involved in the Intercontinental title match. You want to see big, meaty men bumping meat? Throw Lashley in there with Drew and Gunther and Sheamus, right? But if I can't see a scenario that makes sense unless Lashley's just going to squash somebody at Mania. Now, the other side of this is the LA Knight thing. How do you have WrestleMania in LA without LA Knight? You got to figure this one out. If Miz is hosting, have LA Knight take him out. LA Knight is over like Rover. Even as a heel, the man is tremendous on the mic. He needs to have his presence felt at Mania in some way, shape, or form. I don't want to see him squashed by Lashley, but I'd like to see him hijack a segment with The Miz and see where that goes.
Yeah, kind of pull what Bayley did at 37, right? Like where you had, if you didn't have a match for her, okay, fine, but she should have at least hosted. They give it to Hulk and Titus, and then she ends up just being the host for 2 days. She just basically hijacked the segments and took the show over before getting dumped there by the Bella Twins to close out her WrestleMania weekend. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Hopefully there's a much clearer picture by the end of the show on Friday. Let's dive into the card that we know at this time. And why don't we go ahead and kick off with the match that's going to kick off WrestleMania on Saturday. It is Austin Theory defending his United States Championship SP3 against John Cena. Sid, I don't think the result is in question here. I think it is, how does Austin Theory win this match? And how does he come back from the absolute burial that John Cena gave him in their promo exchange on Monday night? Basically completely pulling the curtain back on Austin Theory, saying, dude, they got to pipe crowd noise in your damn matches because no one gives an F about you. Even if you beat me, you don't win because you're never going to live up to the hype of the expectations that comes with beating John Cena at WrestleMania. How does somebody come back from something like that?
Yeah, I think Cena verbally pantsed Austin Theory in that promo exchange on March 6th. So Austin Theory has to win, but it's the question of starting off the first night of a 2-night WrestleMania that makes this a little less predictable to me, because you can realistically see them having Cena win here and then maybe passing the title off to someone new on the Raw after WrestleMania, whether that's someone from NXT like Carmelo Hayes or Braun Breaker in an open challenge, or even someone new coming to the company like Switchblade Jay White. I can see all those things happening. I'm going to go with Austin Theory here because I think he needs the win, probably more than anyone else on this card. But you said it best, Rick. what does he gain if he wins when he's already been told that he doesn't gain anything with the win? So it's very perplexing, this whole result of this matchup after that promo.
Yeah, you almost need John Cena to come out on Monday, the Raw after, and say, all right, I take it all back. Like you've earned my respect, kind of a thing, to give him a rub to make up for the comments he gave there. Outside of that, or outside of honestly Austin Theory, like squashing John Cena, which I don't think you want to do for a show opener. I don't know what they do here.
See, I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Okay.
Let's say Cena wins. Okay. Right. Couple things. First of all, position on the card, right? Opening match, first night, right? Do you want to put a heel over and set that tone out the gate? Or do you want to have greatest of all time John Cena come out, get a win over somebody that nobody likes, and get that crowd popping, right? And I think there's a case to be made for that. And let's not forget, was it like what happened where like Cena called out The Rock like a year ahead of time, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
What's to stop Theory from coming out on Raw the night after and saying, you know what, I didn't get it done at this Mania, but I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to work this year, and I'm going to make it next year. I'll see you back at WrestleMania 40 and run it back. Because if you're really trying to put this guy over and get the most out of this, whatever, I mean, we're really new to the kind of Theory Cena feud. I mean, that tone that was set early was just so so hypothetically, maybe this thing does go the distance. Maybe we see more from Theory and Cena. But I just look at the placement on that card, and I'm like, man, if you want to start both nights of WrestleMania off on a note where the bad guy beats John Cena, God bless. Have fun with that.
I mean, you could still set the tone because it's pretty low-hanging fruit. You know that crowd is going to be jacked up the second they hear Cena's music, so they're going to be fired up the second that this match gets underway. And if the match delivers, which I think it will, Andreas, I don't necessarily think you have to have Cena win this. I think Theory needs it more, but I could get Nick's argument there.
I got chilled with Chase here in the comments. He agrees with me.
Look, Doug, I don't think there's any way Theory's losing this. I think it's the question. The real question is Theory going over clean? I think that's what we need to see here, because Theory needs to be a made man. After that Money in the Bank debacle, they've done a great job rehabbing Theory, and Theory versus Cena is a match that people do want to see. Now, yes, Cena buried the man, but Cena's known to do this with talent. You know, remember what he did to The Rock, and it completely pissed The Rock off. It's just what Cena does. But I think Theory having a great match with Cena, and if he goes over and clean, his promo on Raw is going to be ridiculous. I think he can be an ultra heat magnet. He just has to go over clean. Not too Weasley. I'm sure he'll probably pull out maybe a low blow or something, but he's got to win this match. You can't bury the guy twice in a year. He's got to go over.
Yeah, 100%. I think this is Theory's match to Theory's match. He's got to get this. He's got to get the W in this one. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if WWE put Cena over. Cena? I combine their names. Cena over.
I like that.
Cena. Athena. No. Let's couple of quick ones here. We'll give this about as much time as they deserve, because let's be honest, these are just matches that were cobbled together in the last minute just to get more people on the card. SP3 will start with the women's showcase here. The field was set last night with what did they call them? The complaint department. Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green being added to the field here. SP3, if this match was actually for something like a number one contendership for the women's tag team titles, I'd say Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler need to win. But if Rousey's disgruntled, if she's as hurt as badly as she seems to be, if she's going to be taking some time off, why not go with an upstart tag team like Chelsea and Sonya? I mean, but go ahead and give them the win, because they seem to be invested in building up Chelsea Green right now.
But they don't know who's going to be her tag team partner. First,
Correct.
It looked like it was going to be Sonya Deville. Then it went to Carmella.
Right.
Then she had a week with Piper Niven. Now it's back to Sonya. So yeah, I can't say that they're confident in that being the pairing. So I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler to get the victory, because at least there, if they want to make it, retcon it and say, yeah, it was for the number one contendership.
Sure.
They can do Ronda and Shayna versus Becky and Lita down the line.
And Becky has said, well, maybe not even down the line, because Becky said in interviews she wants to defend the titles on night 2. Nick, who do you think takes this one?
If it's not Ronda and Shayna, which I agree with SP3, it seems likely, and these two have wanted to be working together as a tag team. It's a win. It solidifies them as a tag team. Very strong unit. makes all the sense in the world. If it's not them, I actually lean Liv Raquel, just because I think they'd probably get the best reaction. You know, people seem to think there is some chemistry there between the two, and you know, nobody ever gets mad when Liv Morgan gets a big win. And so depending on how they want to use that match, I would lean Liv Raquel.
Andreas?
Dude, it's Ronda and Shayna. Listen, the only question here is how hurt is Ronda, seriously? Because then you got to kind of protect her in this match, right? And Shayna's got to do a lot of the heavy lifting. And if that's the case, if Ronda's not too hurt, I can see the tag team titles defended the next night at Mania. Because I think that's all Ronda wants at this point is her and Shayna becoming the tag team champions. Sure. If not, maybe they just do it at Backlash. But there's no way in hell I see anybody else winning. You want to know why? Because I don't care about any of these other teams in this match. All of them are singles wrestlers that just kind of been put together. Even though I see Chelsea and Sonya having something there, everybody else needs to go, you know, get in a position for a title shot. There's only one tag team that matters here is Ronda and Shayna.
Yeah, these other three, they may not even be together by the time Monday Night Raw rolls around. So a lot depends on what Carmella's doing, but you know, maybe they do a trio with those three. I don't know until we know what's going on with Carmella. Hopefully she's all right. We'll just play wait and see, I guess.
And historically, since they've had women's tag team titles, these teams at WrestleMania never last the whole year.
Correct. 100%. SP3, who wins the men's showcase here?
I'm going to go with, I have to go with a heel team because of what I think is going to happen in the Undisputed Tag Team title match. I want to go with the Street Profits, but I'm going to go with Viking Raiders here.
Nick?
I go Street Profits. I think they deserve a big moment on a big stage, even if a collapse of the unit is inevitable. I think that they deserve a big moment. They're both big stars for the future, and you know, I would give them the moment.
Who do you like, Andreas?
Street Profits, and then Otis is going to depart from Gable, and they're going to start their thing. But Street Profits.
Yeah, it's interesting because you hear reports about you know, Triple H being high on Montez and being high on Chad Gable and who could possibly be set up for singles runs coming out of this. So I look at it and be like, okay, who needs a huge tag team win? I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I'm going to go Braun Strowman and Ricochet. I think that's a team that is working really well. The crowd loves Braun Strowman. I think Braun Strowman's going to do his thing. He's going to run people over. He's going to power slam somebody, and the live crowd is going to go nuts because the live crowd always goes nuts for Braun Strowman. You have the Bloodline storyline and everything going on there, and then honestly, the second best built match in a lot of people's opinions, including mine, is this one. Father versus son, Rey Mysterio versus Dominik Mysterio here, SP3. This was set up exactly the way that you said. Dominik can call Rey every name in the book, and Rey's going to walk away the bigger man. You disrespect Mama Bear one time, and his ass got dropped like he tried to pick a fight with the wrong guy in the prison yard. Does Rey Mysterio get the win over his son at WrestleMania, or does Dom start off the weekend right for Judgment Day?
I'm gonna go with my heart instead of my brain. My brain is telling me Dom wins because I feel like WWE is only inducting Rey into the Hall of Fame now because somewhere in this feud, Dom's gonna take the mask and unmask his father, and that's gonna be the end of the feud. But because that's not the stipulation here, I gotta go with my heart. And I gotta say that Rey, after 8 to 9 months of being played by his son, he has to win here and have the big moment in the biggest moment of his career, where he's gonna go into the Hall of Fame and then he gets to beat his son's ass.
Nick,
I mean, I'm of two minds, right? I really want to. I mean, I think we all want to see Dom get the passing of the torch moment. I think SP3 got at a good point, which is like, does it need to happen here, right? Aren't you always going to kind of want to see that moment happen? I mean, we haven't got to the stakes, right, where he's taking the mask off and everything. So is it too soon to give Dom? It's the first encounter between him and Rey. Is it too soon to have him win there? That's a very good point. I also think that with Rey, you know, he did this interview, like I was reading it like a couple minutes before we got on the air, and he was saying how he wants to wrestle until he's 50. Didn't sound like a guy who wants to retire. He didn't put the retirement stip on this match. So that's a tell for me there. But if Dom does beat him, I hope he beats him, and I hope there's not a moment after the match where they hug. I hope he stabs him. I hope he comes back the next night on Raw. I hope he stabs him again. I hope he throws him off a bridge.
What do we think here, Andreas? Do you think it's Ray, or do we think Dominik gets the win here?
Dude, it's Dominik. Here's why. Ray would love nothing more than do the honors for his son. And his son's gonna cheat his ass off to get this W. And again, like I just talked about Austin Theory, the promo on Monday Night Raw after Dominik beats his Hall of Fame dad in a match, no matter how he gets the W, Dominik's a heat magnet. Put more heat on this kid. Put a ton of heat on him. He's getting better as a heel. Ray would love to do the honors. Yeah, he might want to wrestle to 50, but he didn't get that win back at Backlash. Let's keep this feud going, but I think Dominik needs to win by crook. Total crook.
This is a big weekend for Judgment Day, and I'll bring that up a little bit here, but you got 3 out of the 4 members who are in matches, and the one person who is not, this is where he inserts himself on the card. I think Damian Priest gets his way in here on the show, pulls off a big move, takes Ray out, ref bump, all the Triple H shenanigans, that we typically see, we're going to get here. And I think Steven's got a good point here. You could do Ray and Bad Bunny versus Dominik and Damian Priest at Backlash in Puerto Rico. I think Damian's got to be set up for a big match in Puerto Rico, especially since he's not on the WrestleMania card. They owe him that. So yeah, I like Dominik, and I think Damian gets involved here.
How cool would it be if Damian Priest gets involved in all the Judgment Day matches? Right. And then by the last one, you're like, dude, is he going to come? Is he going to help Rhea? Is he going to?
I would much rather see, because Hell in a Cell, man, like I hate when people get inside Hell in a Cell. It's like,
but it works. It works though, doesn't it?
I know it does. But like, if we're going to see Damian, let's see Damian in a match where there's literally not an 8-ton steel cage keeping him out.
I want him to make repeat. I want him to get so much time. I want him in 3 WrestleMania matches. Just playing backup for everybody. I got your back, man. All of them.
Well, let's jump around here. I was gonna wait, but we already brought up Hell in a Cell. We got Brood Edge. Rumors that Gangrel's going to be involved in his entrance. This match, honestly, could cook, but I wouldn't be surprised if the entrances are the most talked about things about this match. SP3. Edge always gets a really cool entrance at WrestleMania, and if Gangrel's there, people are going to lose their minds. And then we got Demon Finn Balor. I'm interested to see what Judgment Day Finn Balor looks like. Demon Finn Balor, inside Hell in a Cell. Edge in an interview says he's got a lot of, quote, stupid things planned for this match. SP3, how do you see this one going?
I say Finn Balor's got to win. He's got to win. Got to, reestablish the streak of the Demon since the last time we saw the Demon. He lost to a turnbuckle. So I think he has to win here in Hell in a Cell. And it's already going to be a better Hell in a Cell than I thought it would be because it's back to the original color, according to PW Insider. It's no red Hell in a Cell, which I've hated ever since 2018. So it's back to the original color. So I think this is going to be a good match, but I got Finn winning.
Nick, what do you think?
I mean, Christian can't show up too, can he? I know he got buried alive or whatever by Jack Perry.
If they couldn't get Billy Gunn back for a DX reunion, I doubt they're going to get Christian Cage.
Well, he signed in 2021, in March of 2021, a multi-year contract. Is 2. 2 is multi.
Sure.
I don't know. It's not on AW TV right now.
Couldn't you just get somebody in a similar build, put a wig on him, and put the big shades on it or somebody like that, and pretend like it's Christian?
This is where we get Cardona's comeback. He plays fake Christian.
There you go. Now you're thinking.
I think that I hope Finn Balor wins here. Cody's going to need some fresh heels on the other side of Mania to work with. One would think, and a hot Finn Balor off of a big win over Edge, who's doing he's doing the honors on the way out right now. We all know he's wrapping up here in a couple months. He's made that public. So I predict Finn for all those reasons.
Andreas, I think Finn has to win this, kick off Edge's retirement tour, figure out, he says he's got a lot to accomplish, a lot that he wants to accomplish before he hangs it up. But I think now his story is, all right, I just lost at WrestleMania inside Hell in a Cell against a dude I've been dominating for months outside of that I Quit match. How do I accomplish this on such short time? That's his story. Finn Balor needs to be presented as a huge threat moving forward. I think he wins. I think he needs to win. What do you say?
Same thing. I mean, look, Judgment Day was in shambles a few months ago. It felt like they were losing every other week. I think they need to go on a nice little streak here to reestablish themselves. And we need Finn Balor to not be Jamiroquai, and we need him to be the Demon, right? Like, we need him to be the force that Finn Balor used to be. So going over on Edge in the Battle of the Entrances, I think this is going to get 2 holy shits throughout the whole night just for their entrances alone. And then we're just going to have the match. And I think it's going to be one of those matches that over delivers, because I think Edge is going to put it all on the line. I think Finn's going to be excellent. But the demon has to go over. And to Nick's point, Cody's going to need some heels to deal with. And I think we have to accelerate Finn Balor, because right now he's been looking a lot like a mid-carder. Make him look like a main eventer again.
Wholeheartedly agree. SP3, he mentioned matches that may over-deliver. Look, this should be Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley 4 or 3, whichever match it was going to be.
Yes.
It is Brock Lesnar versus Omos. And SP3, I hate to do this to you so quickly after the death of Omos's theme that you love so much.
I'm so angry. Like, y'all don't understand.
I know you are.
I literally did a countdown of the 5 best themes in wrestling, and I had Omos at number 1. And they changed his theme 6 days before his biggest match of his career.
They did that for you. They did that because of you.
Just for you. Yeah,
They
they
did
read
that
your article.
just for you.
They were like, we got anything else in the archives? Yeah, let's go ahead and just play that.
God, what an awful theme that was too. It was like, don't. He sounded like it was like a remix of the Giants theme from WCW. It was so bad. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar here. I want to go with Omos. I'm an Omos sapien, and I don't like any Omos phobias going on here, phobes. So I'm an Omos sapien, but this is just a showcase for him. He is gonna lose to Brock Lesnar, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think there's I would be stunned if Omos gets the win. I mean, like I said, this matchup would have more intrigue to me if Omos did not already lose to both Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. If he was still this unstoppable giant and you still wanted to play that card of, oh, well, can Brock Lesnar put him up in an F5, even though he's F5'd heavier men than Omos before. If you wanted to play that, that would have been better. This is just so cobbled and so random. I think they're going to make Brock kind of struggle here. He'll hit 1 F5 on Omos and win this matchup. Nick, what do you think?
I think Omos is going to win.
Oh,
I think
right.
I think Vince is back. I think Vince is in his I think he's out of his mind. I think Vince is like, God damn, we got to do like my dad did. We got to get an Andre. We got to get an Andre. This is my Andre. And he goes to, and literally the only person who's willing to like hear him out and listen to him as if he is still in charge is Brock Lesnar, who loves Vince. And he's like, this is some good shit. This is some good shit. I'm going to put over Omos and I'm going to leave. I'm going to go back to my ranch for a little while. I think this is virtual insanity. I think this is, that's Jamiroquai. It's a joke off what Andre said, but it was I think Omos. I think Vince has lost his mind. I think he's back and he's like, do this or we're never selling the company. Omos wins.
He put the company on the line.
This is the 7'4" gun he has to WWE's head. He's like, we're either making this the new Andre. I want a Nigerian Andre or no sale. No sale.
Omos is beating Cody for the title the Monday night on Monday night.
Well, that's the thing. You got to have Omos hot because he's going to be right in the program with Cody coming out of Mania. Do it or no company's getting sold, everybody. That's the decision, all right?
How do you even try to follow that up there, Andre?
I mean, no. Like, yo. For one, all right. I'm going to just go ahead and fantasy book this. Brock's going to nerf Omos, right? Like, I mean, come on. It's Brock just looked in the room and was like, where's all the black people? Who haven't I beat you? Oh, you? All right, let's go. And I think that's kind of how it went. And that's how he picked it. And I'm surprised it's not kicking it off because Brock doesn't like to hang around too long. So usually Brock shows up, collects his check, and leaves. So I'm surprised this doesn't kick off Mania. Maybe it does night 2, whatever. But how about this? How about, I don't know if we can get Brock to do this. How about Brock nerfs Omos, MVP comes out and is like, yo, that's not enough. And then Bobby Lashley comes out and we get the match that we've all wanted from day one.
Yeah.
Because that's what we want. This shouldn't be up to Brock. Like, how many black people can I beat? Brock has like the record, okay? I'm over it. I can't take it anymore.
Well, you have to have worked with a lot of black people to have a record, and I don't know that he's done that.
I don't know, but everyone he touches, he beats.
Well, he lost to
Like-
Lashley, but I almost feel like he got shamed after the Kofi thing.
Hey.
And maybe he's like, I'm going to go big. I'm going to put over Omos now. We got to forget about it. you know?
Idea. Could we get the New Day's revenge here? Like after Brock Lesnar just beats the crap out of Omos, can we have New Day swarm the ring and finally avenge for all their title losses to Brock Lesnar?
God
my
damn.
God. It's like that,
It'd
that
be like-
NBA, that WWE 2K footage of all the black people jumping Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be Street
Yeah.
Profits, Hit Row,
Everybody.
the New Day, everybody come.
Remember
This
that
would be
Vince-
You know,
I don't think he's back, but this would be a hell of a spot for Big E to come back if he is, ready. There's a bunch of rumors that his name's flying out there. I don't know, but that'd be a hell of a spot to throw him out there, though. Finally avenge that title loss.
Jesus.
Oh goodness, yeah, we're Brock's winning this match. Sorry, Nick, Brock's winning.
Yeah.
Let's go to this is a match that, admittedly, I'm a homer when it comes to about all of these ladies here, but I was excited for this matchup even more so after watching Becky and Io Sky put on a banger last night on Monday Night Raw. 6-women tag team action. Becky, Trish, and Lita going up against Damage Control. SP3, I feel like we say this every single solitary pay-per-view prediction show, but God damn it, does Damage Control need a big win on a big stage against 2 Hall of Famers and a guaranteed 3rd Hall of Famer. Have Dakota Kai or Io Sky pin Trish or Lita, please, for the love of Jesus. They need it. They need it badly.
Fool me once. Fool me twice. You ain't gonna fool me again. I'm sorry. I picked Damage Control. I picked Bailey against Bianca twice and lost. I picked Damage Control to win at Survivor Series War Games. Lost. I am not picking them ever again on a pay-per-view prediction. I made that vow to myself for 2023. That was one of my New Year's resolutions. Stop picking Damage Control on big matches because I know they're gonna lose. And yeah, I'm going with Trish, Becky, and Lita.
Nick?
All right. Now, I have like a whole thesis I wrote on the site about this match. And here I'm actually picking Damage Control here, but it's not the way you think. See, I think there's a line to be drawn between Roxanne Perez going down in NXT and not dropping that NXT women's title. And she's just kind of out there right now. We know she's not actually injured. It's all like a work by all accounts, right? So what is Bailey really good at? She's really good at picking great NXT women to have her back, right? What better person could she mold and manipulate? You've got Roxanne Perez here who just tried to do everything for all the right reasons, prove herself. I could work real hard. I can hang with this Japanese legend. It got her in the hospital. That's a sucker's bet. You're working too hard. That's a lesson Bailey learned, right? And so who better to bring into the fold than this outside entity that could maybe at the last moment there you got 4 of them on the outside. You got Becky and Bailey in the ring and they're down and there's this chair in the ring and the ref's down. Maybe there's this moment there where Roxanne Perez runs to the ring and ultimate babyface, right? You got to think is going to help Becky Lynch. I think she turns to Bailey. I think she stabs those Bailey buddies. I would love to see Roxanne Perez have a moment here, join Damage Control and help them get the win, because it certainly seems like they are not involving her in Stand and Deliver, and I find that to be very interesting. And so of all the spots I could find for there to be a use for her on Mania, this one, for whatever reason, probably because I smoke too much weed, makes the most sense.
Wait, you're telling me Roxanne Perez didn't collapse? You're telling me HBK tell me a lie?
Yeah. And guess what? HBK taught Roxanne Perez the greatest lesson of all: never drop the title cleanly, right? And then off she went.
She lost her smile.
Yeah, right? She got beat up by a bunch of Marines or something. I'm not sure.
Now-
So there's my theory.
Now, I wouldn't be mad at that. Like, honestly, I think Roxanne Perez is great. Maybe needs a little bit more work on the character development, but in ring, I think she's great. She had a brief but good showing at the Royal Rumble. Nick, you were there. That crowd had a great reaction for her, so people know who she is. I think that'd be a great way to introduce her there. I don't know if she gets involved at Mania, and I see so many people in the comments who are saying that Trish Stratus is going to turn heel at WrestleMania and cost her team the match. My issue with that is that makes absolutely no sense for Trish Stratus to turn heel right now. Otherwise, why on God's green earth would she have come back and helped Lita and Becky Lynch win the damn tag team titles in the first place and then make the challenge for this match just to turn around and join Damage Control? It doesn't make sense to do it here. You need a catalyst first. I know though there are reports that Trish is going to turn heel and work with Becky over the summer. That's great. You don't need to start that at WrestleMania. All you need is for that team, that Hall of Fame team, to be clicking and firing on all cylinders until it's not, until something happens. There's a miscommunication. Becky, going for a spin kick or something like that, takes out Trish instead of a member of Damage Control and ends up costing Trish the matchup. And then the rift begins between the 3 Hall of Fame member team that you have going on there. I think something like that is more likely to happen. And that's why I'm picking Damage Control to win. SP3, I don't learn my no damn lessons. I don't learn no damn lessons. This is the big one for Damage Control. Bayley's team finally gets a win. I'm going to say Dakota Kai pins Trish Stratus. I'm going to change that. Io Sky pins Trish Stratus to win this matchup. Andreas?
I'm picking Damage Control because, like Judgment Day, they need a damn win.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Trish and Lita aren't here for a long time. They're here for a good time. And I figure after this, Becky and Lita will do the tag team honors, probably to Ronda and Shayna, because that's what Ronda wants. So you got Trish kind of dangling out there. So why wouldn't Trish and Bayley have a feud? It feels like something that needs to happen. And I thought they were going to do a singles match here at WrestleMania, but I feel like Damage Control needs to win. And I think this might be a crook way to do it. They're too good to keep losing, and there's no momentum in a heel squad that just continues to do the honors. They get the W here. Trish and Lita don't need it. Becky's made. She's the man. They'll figure something out. They're still the tag champs. The Damage Control desperately needs this win.
I don't know if Becky's promo last night was her, just ad-libbing and going rogue and saying what everybody already knows, or if it was WWE being self-aware of what they've done with Damage Control, basically saying, you've got these 2 incredibly talented people and y'all ain't done a fucking thing since you've come up. Yeah, you've won tag team titles, but you haven't really done anything with them. And that's more the bookings problem because they haven't had any teams to defend the damn titles against. But maybe Becky just shined a spotlight on the elephant in the room and, maybe can get this group kicked into high gear. A lot of reports about the women's division, people within the women's division being upset about the builds for WrestleMania this year. And judging off of our 2 main title matches, they have every right to be pissed off, and we will get there. First, though, banger of the year candidate. Intercontinental Championship match. We got Gunther defending against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Just give me a beer. I'm going to sit back in the press box with my feet up and just enjoy the show. The real winner is going to be all of us, SP3, but who walks away with the Intercontinental Championship?
This is another one I'm going to go with my heart. I want Gunther to become the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. I have lived my entire life as the Honky Tonk Man, as the longest Intercontinental Champion. That needs to change. Gunther wins.
Agreed. I agree wholeheartedly. I would be very upset if Gunther doesn't win.
I mean, damn. You're all right. Yes. Gunther has to win.
Yeah.
I mean, the real question, who's going to have the more beat up chest? Is it going to be Drew or is it going to be Sheamus? Because they're going to be dog meat by the end of this match. Gunther's going to kick some ass.
I think Sheamus is going to look the worst just because he's so pasty white, right? That red just beams off of him.
Yeah, look, I think all 3 of these dudes are going to look like raw hamburger meat by the time this thing is over. I mean, Drew and Sheamus, we know they work stiff with each other, and Gunther works stiff with literally everybody. So, I mean, that dude, to me, has the most impressive offense in all of WWE because literally everything he does looks like it just hurts, and that's because it does hurt. The guy's not flashy. He's old school. He just beats the piss out of everybody, and you believe him. I'm actually going to go against the crowd here, though.
Whoa.
I am. I think Sheamus wins the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania by pinning Drew McIntyre. I think they got big things ahead for Gunther other than the fact of just being the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. I think A window into what we saw was him squaring off against Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble, him being the final two with Cody Rhodes. I think those two matches are in his future, and those two matches means he has to move up the card. He's got to drop the IC title first. I think Sheamus pins Drew McIntyre to take the belt off him. They got bigger things ahead for Gunther, and then Sheamus finally wins the title that's evaded him his entire career, and he walks away a Grand Slam champion. But give these guys 45 minutes and just let me enjoy it. Like, seriously, like give them the entire first 2 hours of night 2. I don't give a fuck. I'm looking. That's the match.
I think you're gonna get 12 minutes. I think you get 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
That's my guess on this one.
Man, this one's a marathon, not a sprint, Nick.
I don't know. 12 minutes is my guess, over under. Maybe 15.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Go out there and chop each other for 45 minutes so they bleed like strong style, like we're in New Japan? What do you think we are, the Tokyo Dome?
I'll enjoy every damn second of it.
SoFi Stadium, okay? Come on. You're going to fire a couple of hard chops off, maybe bust a couple cuticles, and I don't see this one going 45. This isn't going to be like some technical clinic. They're gonna go out there and beat the piss out of each other for 10 minutes. Like somebody's gonna pin somebody.
If Vince was still running, well, you think Vince is still running the show, but there has been a bigger focus on actually giving the talent time in the ring since Triple H has taken over. I think this one's going 30 bare minimum.
No way, you're out of your mind.
You're insane. You said bare minimum. You're ridiculous.
Yeah, 12, 15 tops. You're crazy.
It might be the longest match of the weekend. I'll give it that.
Half an hour. The fuck.
We got. Maybe that's more wishful thinking than anything else on my part. 20 minutes, Bearman. All right, so we got 5 matches left here, ladies and gentlemen. Get your comments in. Continue to get them in as quickly as much as possible. I'll try to get to them before the end of the show. I just want to make sure we get through the entire card because we got a hard out at 3:00 here in about 15 minutes. So we got 5 matches remaining. Let's get to our first women's championship match of the weekend. And look, SP3, this is something that we've talked about ad nauseum over the last few weeks. This is a match that it's not going to be bad. Like these two women are going to go out there and they are going to deliver. The problem is that they deserved so much better than the build that they got, which is literally trading, oh, hey, I'll save you from somebody beating your ass. You save me from somebody beating your ass. Then we're going to smile at each other and we're going to point at the WrestleMania sign. And that's literally been the entire build since Asuka won the Royal Rumble. It's like, oh, hey, cool. One Elimination Chamber. So Asuka wins. Okay, we got our challenge for Bianca. Our work is done here. This match is set. We ain't got to do anything to put any kind of heat behind this whatsoever. The story was what I was concerned with when they set this up, and those concerns were merited because it's almost like they didn't even fucking try to put a build behind this one, SP3.
Like you said it before about Triple H and the women's division, how he's booked it since he became in power. The 2 successes of the women's division was pretty obvious even after the Royal Rumble. It was Bianca Belair with this title reign and Rhea Ripley. So the obvious play was to have Rhea Ripley pick Bianca Belair. It did not need to be Charlotte Flair. No, I don't think a lot of people cared about the loss 3 years ago, but evidently Paul Effect did. So that's why we have this match where they didn't really care about building it up. And I love the video packages. They were really well done on Raw. But all it really told me was Asuka was great in NXT. You should watch this match. It did not tell me anything about Asuka right now. It's just Asuka was great in NXT. She had a 914-day reign, undefeated streak. Cool. This match is gonna be great though. That's all I know. It's gonna deliver. Bianca Belair wins though.
I mean, this might be Bianca's 3rd straight WrestleMania with a match of the year candidate. She's getting 3 straight WrestleMania one-on-one matches. That doesn't happen very often unless your name's like fucking Roman Reigns or some shit like that.
Only one of them was properly built up. Only one of those 3 matches were properly built up. This is
no. I have railed before on how badly that build between Sasha and Bianca was because it was centered around fucking Reginald. The entire goddamn build was centered around Carmella's sommelier. You're getting me off track. You want to get me heated. I see how it is. But regardless, yeah, this one hasn't been built much better. Honestly, the focus of this build has been Carmella until she went away and building up Chelsea Green for a match that literally does not matter because there are no stakes on it in this match here. But Nick, This match is going to deliver. Who do you got winning? Do they end Bianca's reign at literally a year?
I mean, if I would be surprised if they ended Bianca's reign here. She's got a reality show coming out. She's filming it. They started filming it at the Rumble. So they're going to be, that hasn't even, so there's that whole other aspect of it that she's going to be a bigger commodity in the coming months for them than she even is now. If Asuka were to win, I'll put 20% chance odds on Asuka winning. And if she does win, I think it's probably to send a signal to Japanese women that WWE is a viable place where they can come and find success, especially with Mercedes Moné over there and potentially some other women. I mean, well, of course, Kairi went back to Japan. Doesn't seem like a place that has done a great job of presenting Japanese women wrestling on a high level. They could certainly at least attempt to make an argument in the other direction if they put Asuka and gave her that moment on a big stage like this.
What are you thinking, Andreas?
Bianca wins. I mean, this is simple. You got a reality show coming out like you just did Jamel Hill's podcast. Like they're positioning you as a mainstream attraction. There's no reason why Bianca should lose. Just going to have a banger of a match. That's about it. Just a freaking banger.
Yeah, she's reached I mean, hell, this is a reign that we haven't seen in quite some time for any black athlete in WWE. Like they haven't gotten to that year mark, and she's going to get, as long as this match is on night 2, which I think it's going to be. I don't know if it's officially scheduled. She's going to hit 365 days as Raw Women's Champion. There's no way in hell this ends. Like if they had actually put any kind of effort into explaining this new Asuka, Asuka's the same Asuka. They just put a different face paint on her. Like, that's it. Like, we all got excited at the Royal Rumble. We're like, holy shit, we're getting evil fucking Asuka. This is going to be awesome. It's literally been same Asuka, except she smiles and, sometimes she's got blue shit that runs down her cheek. Like, that's been the entire character development of Asuka since the Royal Rumble. And it's so damn disappointing. Bianca's winning this. Like, you're going to keep that title on. I wouldn't be surprised if they kept that title on Bianca for several more months. At this point, it's reached Roman Reigns status where it becomes, you got to find the right person to beat Bianca. And I don't think it's Asuka. I think Bianca is going to retain and walk out the Raw Women's Champion. SP3, this is another build. As bad as the women's builds have been, this is one that I have thoroughly enjoyed. This is a matchup to me that makes a ton of sense. You have Seth Rollins, who once again had his WrestleMania moment snatched away from him. This main event snatched away from him in the Royal Rumble when he got eliminated by Logan Paul. And the fact that Rollins got eliminated by a part-time wrestler, full-time YouTuber, just absolutely pissed him off. And these two have been at each other's throats for the last several weeks. It's kind of hard to believe here, SP3, but Seth Rollins has not won a WrestleMania match since he beat Brock Lesnar to open up WrestleMania 35. This man has now lost 3 times in a row. He cannot lose to Logan Paul. I think this match is going to be great because Logan Paul took to wrestling like a duck to water. Seth Rollins is excellent, but goddamn, this is Rollins to win. Like, Rollins has to win this matchup, and I think he will win this matchup. What says you?
Back-to-back years, a celebrity had one of the best build-ups to WrestleMania. Johnny Knoxville last year, Logan Paul this year. Logan Paul's been great on the mic, been great as a heel character, and Seth Rollins always delivers at WrestleMania. So I think this has a shot to be in the best match of the entire weekend for WWE. So I go with Seth, though.
Nick?
Seth, definitely. And I think Logan Paul has done a nice job turning himself heel, right? Like, it's kind of like supposed to show that you're a good wrestler when you can play heel and babyface, and Logan Paul's kind of done that. And I don't want to sit here and say Logan Paul's a good wrestler, but certainly something for you all to sit there and think about, right? So I'm going to go Seth Rollins. I think Logan Paul's done a good job setting him up for a big win.
Yep, Seth Rollins. I mean, this will be an incredible match. Logan's going to do some wild, incredibly athletic shit, and it's going to cost him. And Seth Rollins is going to get that W, and Logan doesn't need this. He's made. No. He's a made man as a celebrity, and he'll be back doing something else in Puerto Rico at Backlash, probably.
Yeah, probably. And I think it almost like sends the right message. Like, you can't have Seth going out in interviews and Becky going out in interviews saying, man, Logan Paul is a, great athlete, but his heart ain't in this. We fucking hate him. He's not a pro wrestler. And then put him over one of the guy who literally will get in trouble on social media for shilling for WWE and carrying their flag. You're going to put Logan Paul over that guy? I don't think so. I think Seth Rollins wins. Yeah, no way. I don't know what kind of message that sends, but I don't think it's the right message. All right, the SmackDown Women's Championship. Charlotte Flair defending against Rhea Ripley here. SP3. What is this? Their seventh one-on-one matchup. Charlotte has won them all. Does Rhea Ripley finally get the win here, SP3? Does Triple H do what Vince McMahon would not?
Rhea Ripley wins. I mean, I would love to say I'm interested in this match, but they gave me no reason to. But Rhea Ripley has to win, so I think it's going to be a great match, but Rhea Ripley wins.
Nick?
Yeah, same. I would love to play devil's advocate and come up with a great reason Charlotte Flair should win this match, but there really isn't. You know, it's Rhea's time, and if Finn beats Edge and Dom beats Ray, you know, on a night where it looks like, and we'll get to here in a second, the Bloodline faction falls, the Judgment Day could rise, and how wild is that to say, considering where both these factions were 6 months ago?
And that's exactly what I wanted to bring up. So perfect, segue right in here. Look, the major storyline of WrestleMania should be, and we'll talk about those matches here coming up next, but it should be the downfall of the Bloodline crumbling, fracturing, which means you have a hole up at the top for the number one faction in all of WWE. Judgment Day deserves that opportunity to fill those shoes. I don't know if they'll be as successful. It's hard to be as successful as the Bloodline was, but you have to present them as major players if they're going to move into that spot, which means Balor has to win. He's got to challenge Cody at some point. Damian needs a big match in Puerto Rico. Dominik needs to beat his old man's ass, and Rhea Ripley needs to walk away the SmackDown Women's Champion. I think that's going to happen. Andreas?
Yeah, Rhea's got to win. I don't give a shit about the build to this match. I hate babyface Charlotte's awful to me. I've never liked her, and Rhea's going to get a tremendous pop when she wins. So good luck keeping her heel, because the fans are going to be 100% behind her, because everybody hates Charlotte.
I mean, they were giving her what chance on Friday? I mean, over the last few weeks during this build, SP3, I think she got some pretty decent pops for a little bit longer than we were anticipating, but now people are kind of like, yeah, it's Charlotte, right? Okay, it's Charlotte. We hate Charlotte, and now they're starting to give her what chance? So maybe they create a bigger star. That's the story they've decided to tell here. It's not so much about revenge. It's about Rhea becoming a bigger star. Well, for that to happen, she's got to beat Charlotte on the big stage. Lastly, our two big matches, which should be the two main events of the weekend. I don't know if they will be, but night one, the Usos defending the Undisputed Tag Team Championships against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I've talked to Sami Zayn numerous times. He said, SP3, at some time in their careers, it has to happen that those two walk away as tag team champions. It's unbelievable that it hasn't happened yet in their careers. I mean, this is, if you're not going to put the WWE Championship on Sami Zayn in Montreal, KO and Sami have got to win the damn tag team titles in Los Angeles. They have to, and I think they will.
I am going with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I just asked for one thing as a longtime fan of them. I've sat in the Hammerstein Ballroom back in 2007 and watched their career-making rivalry with the Briscoes that put them on the map here in America. Give me a Jay Driller. Give me a Doomsday Device. Give me a tribute to Jay Briscoe in this matchup, Kevin and Sami.
Nick?
Yeah, I think it's. I think it would be a very bad call at this point to not give KO and Sami the win over the Usos, and to that end, I think Cody. I give you my prediction now: Cody over Roman. I mean, it would. I think people would be very upset if that doesn't happen. It's just such a perfect moment. You only get them so often. This is what WrestleMania is supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to be. It is supposed to be the expectation of something wonderful that you want, and then you get given that thing.
Yeah.
I can in my head vividly see Cody and Kevin and Sami standing in a ring of honor, finally, right there in WWE. It is their ring of honor. I think it would be great. And it's we could shades of the Benoit Guerrero moment that has disappeared from all time. Now we'll have these three with confetti everywhere, with their titles over their head. And I think in some ways kind of fill the void of that moment that's been lost. So my bold prediction for the last two bouts here.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is basically WWE's season finale, and it all depends on what kind of show do they want. Do they want Full House, or do they want Walking Dead? Andreas, do we get the happy ending here?
We get the happy ending with the tag team match. The only thing
I
asked, I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win. And I think they have a rematch. I'm kind of upset this isn't a TLC match because we've seen what Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn can do with stipulation matches in the past, and the Usos have been looking for a tag team dance partner to prove they're the best in the world. But Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win here, and this rivalry is not over.
All right, well, it's all about Cody. It's Cody Mania against Roman Reigns, who is approaching 1,000 days as the undisputed, well, at least the Universal Champion. There's pictures floating around of titles, and, you know, everybody thinks that Cody is going to win this match. Maybe not Andreas. We'll get there. But SP3, does Cody Rhodes finish his story? Does he win the title that his papa never could?
Ladies and gentlemen, I am an agent of chaos. I love chaos. I love wrestling Twitter burning down. Roman Reigns gets to May 27th, 1,000-day champion. Please, dear Lord, make it happen. Roman Reigns wins.
Well, Nick thinks we're going full house here. Yeah?
I'm saying cross the board. I gave my prediction. I'm going to go Cody, KO, Sami up and down. I think it's too good. I think it's too good.
Andreas, you seem to be in camp SP3 here.
Yes, Roman should win because Cody's story is not over. It's too soon for his story to end because once the babyface has the title, there's nowhere to go but down. Cody needs to lose here. Roman needs to win because there's still more juice in the squeeze for the bloodline, because we are all waiting for Jay to turn on Roman at some point. And Roman needs somebody to blame for not upholding their end of the bargain. Roman wins, the Usos lose, chaos within the bloodline. Give it to me.
This is like when they tried to pitch Back to the Future 3. They're like, 1 was good, 2 was fine. I think we could get a 3rd one. What if they're all cowboys?
Hey, all I am saying is that this does not finish Cody's story. If you know Cody's story, it's all about adversity. Give me a dusty finish where he thinks he wins, and then they turn it back on.
He rolled around a onesie that was made of latex. That man has paid his dues. That
man, I get it.
500 yards of shit and came out the other side. Come on now.
I know. Look, man, I get it. I understand where both you guys are coming from, and I wouldn't entirely hate it. But that crowd, Cody is your most overstar right next to Sami Zayn right now. He is your top merchandise guy. You have set him up to strap the rocket to that man. Send this crowd home happy. Put the damn title on Cody. Put the damn confetti coming down. I want to see tears pouring out this man's eyes as he's out there and he's in the ring and he's holding the belt, both belts over his shoulders, and he's looking up and he's thanking his dad. That's what I want to see. I want to see Cody win it. I think it's Cody's time. Is it predictable to have Cody win? Yes, but predictable is not bad if it's done correctly. I think KO and Sami will take out the Usos, and then all Cody has to deal with is the Wise Man and Solo Sikoa. He's almost been super Cena-esque since he came back. I think he's the guy. I think he's the guy, and I think it has to happen at WrestleMania. I can't appreciate you guys for coming on so much. I know we got to get wrapping up here. Nick, we did have somebody ask in the chat if you're going to be opening up a YouTube channel for House of Wrestling.
I already have one. It is youtube.com/@House of Wrestling. I don't know why there's an @ in it, but that's how it goes, I guess, on YouTube now. I tried to just make it House of Wrestling, whatever. The Dax Harwood interview is up over there. I'll have a Teddy Long interview up here in just a little bit later today. And then, of course, I'm heading off to Mania. I'll be there. And all of my interview content, all of my live streams from Stand and Deliver both nights of Mania and ROH Supercard, all of that's going to be over on the Premier Streaming Network. That's my partner. They are helping us to get this coverage done the best way possible. I have a very fancy videographer with me. So go follow Premier Streaming Network for all the coverage of my content this weekend. But houseofwrestling.com, of course, I'll have more wrestling coverage up there from on the site. And thank you so much for having me on, guys. It's been a big week, and it means the world to be able to chat with you guys before I take off to LA. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be there with you. I'm hopping on a flight at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Andreas, where can people find your stuff, good sir?
Well, at Andreas Hale on all social media platforms, the Corner Cop Podcast with me and Kel Dansby. Fighting Words over on YouTube as part of the sporting news. And of course, behind me, for those who watch the video, Our Heroes Rock, myself, Big E, and Johnny Davenport. The animated series that we have created is coming very soon. An announcement is soon to come, so stay tuned.
Good stuff. All right, SP3, I think you actually have another show that's starting in like 3 minutes over on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. So where can people hop over and find that?
Find me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Go to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. We're doing our WrestleMania 39 preview with myself, Romeo, and special guest Sat E. Niangi of Wrestle Talk. So join us over there for that. I want to thank Nick and Andreas for joining us. And Andreas, thank you for being with me for Roman 1000. Roman 1000, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go.
We appreciate everybody who's tuned into the show. Make sure to give us the like button there. If you're new to the program, you like what you heard, pound that subscribe button. I'm going to be in LA talking to most of the same people that Nick is talking to, so you can check out my interviews here on the Bleav in Pro Wrestling Podcast YouTube channel, as well as the podcast channel. Also write for CageSideSeats.com. I'll have an article coming out tomorrow, my conversation with Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Adam Cole Bebe ahead of the debut of All Access tomorrow on Dynamite. Until then, stay tuned, everybody. Enjoy WrestleMania weekend, and we will talk to you next week. SP3 and I'll be back. Well, actually, I'll be flying in at my normal time, so we'll try to schedule it for Wednesday. Until then, take care, everybody. Have a great week. Enjoy WrestleMania. This has been the Bleav in Pro Wrestling Podcast, brought to you by BetOnline. I'm contractually obligated to say that. See ya.